Hello friends, this is Deepened, founder of Octoberlily Wellness and the voice behind the How Are You Guided Meditation series. So 8 weeks has gone by of the series, and with this video / vlog, I intend to integrate and reflect on those 8 weeks. So my focus will be sharing on I want to share some through lines, key learnings and themes that stood out for me throughout and across the meditations. And I'll share both from a space holder and someone that's also on the remembering and healing journey myself. So I'll share from those perspectives. And where I want to focus on with this particular video is what surprised me, what's deepened within me, and the key learnings about the different platforms that I interacted with, and all the other small details around the experience for myself, right? So I'll share that, because I also noted when I was reflecting throughout each meditation, there's so much that I want to share, and I'm not going to convolute this video and compress everything into one. So I feel like the videos will also be a series on their own, because everything feels so important to ensure that the intentionality is put forth. So honestly, where I want to start is what surprised me. People that work with their voices as a tool to get their work done, I have deep respect and humility and gratitude for them, because I don't know how voiceover artists and radio presenters and maybe people that are on TV as well, because their voices, and never mind just the visual stuff that we see, there's so much that goes into the work that we see as their final product or final offering. The amount of preparation, the amount of editorial, and the silencing of that second guessing one's effort, and the self-saboteur voice and chatter that constantly glares its head to say not good enough. I have deep respect for people that use their voice as a tool, because as a person that's learning, firstly, just how to talk freely, to project, to use their voice to express truth, never mind volume, never mind tone. Just as a person that's just finding safety to be able to talk, I have deep respect for people that use their voices as a tool to get their work done, because it's such a powerful instrument, and I'm learning it, because through their voices and through my own voice, what I'm seeing is how my emotions live in my voice, how my sense of what I value in what I'm saying lives in my voice, whether it's shaky, whether it's powerful in those moments. But what I'm learning is voice is an instrument that cannot be taken for granted, and I am appreciating this journey so much more right now. And another shift for me has been my own growth and healing, and how I relate to time. I do finish what I start. That's never been an issue, but it's the length of time that I would complete and do things. That is evolving, because of my unhurried nature has allowed me a sense of being very compassionate with myself, to say that you need to honor how your nature works, and how the creative energy and how production of anything that you want to do sometimes is actually not dependent on the deadline, but the quality of your deep listening in order for you to meaningfully create. So where I'm going with how I relate to time is that, because I am in a grief therapy journey, and my relationship with time had been warped because of unprocessed grief and that's sat in my body and my throat mostly. What I am doing and wanting for myself now is I want to be able to create a bubble of getting things done in terms of the time that I have now reclaimed back for myself and to myself. I want to use that time so divinely, so much respect as well, and not think that things can be done in perpetuity. So I want to also highlight this one detail that I think is quite it gave me a deep sense of I think pride is one of the words that I'll apply here. So one of the nights that I was sitting down getting ready to record a meditation, so I sit down, pack, take a few breaths, and off I think I can go. And as I sat down, my inner child's voice resounded, "I don't feel like talking right now." And I could almost feel my inner child's energy. I could almost see that, that innocence and that need to be acknowledged, that need to be validated, to say it's okay. And I heard that voice so profoundly without effort. I packed up and I called it a night with no force. So why I'm bringing this up is that my adult self and my relationship with time, my old self would have pressured myself into getting this thing done because I don't have a lot of time. But because I understand what healing my inner child and the safety that I'm trying to create for my voice, for my inner child's voice, is because we had already done so much and so well throughout the other episodes. I think we were on our 5th when this incident happens. I had no choice but to pack up and acknowledge that in that moment, because we are saying that I'm creating safety for my inner child, myself, I had to pack up. And I had to also reconcile my old self around how I relate with time because of the systems and beliefs that have been installed in me, unprocessed grief that sat in my body. How I'm relating to time now is mostly with the view of how does my inner child want us to be spending time intentionally, productively, constructively, but with play and ease involved here. So there's a lightness that I didn't have before in how I relate to time, and I want my time spent to be meaningful, and I don't want to have the view that I have unlimited time all the time. But it's also with acknowledging that sometimes it's not time to do and get certain things done because there's certain things that still need to surface. And this is particularly for my production and creative energy. This is what I'm speaking to in terms of how I relate with time. No force, but deep compassion and a deep focus on not having things happen and be done in perpetuity. We need to get things done, but with the focus still being on meaning, creating from meaning, right? And my senses as well have heightened in ways that I can't also fully explain. So perhaps this also speaks to my sense of intuition and how it's sharpened because of the deep listening and the deep thinking and creating with meaning. So I notice the subtleties in my energy, in tone, in presence, things around me, more than ever. So I hear what isn't said, I feel what isn't shown and shared, and I have a more nuanced way of leaning into my own needs now, the needs of those around me, and how I lean into those bubbles and out of those bubbles. So the through line here is my senses have heightened because I've allowed myself, and the meditation has gifted me with a sense of sitting in deep listening. And now I can hear and feel even things that are not said and not shown. Right? And then another thing that I noted was watching the work of others sprout around me. So this is just on social media platforms, the people that I follow, and vice versa. So this may never be acknowledged by many, but I've noted traces of how the series was influencing and motivating others to create in whatever way, whatever it is their line of work is. But there's a texture in how the meditation series presented itself, and I can see those little qualities sparking in how people created, and the accents of the meditation, how I saw how others were creating almost from that through line, right? And it gave me a sense of pride. And even though it'll be actually so giving and so appreciated to have people acknowledge where their sense of creation in terms of influence and motivation is coming from, because it goes a long way in motivating people like us that are almost conduits of the universe's assignment to help us heal, to help the world heal. So to know that the work is reaching you, the person that's creating, influenced by the series and its context, it gives us a go motivation. I want to keep going, and I know that it's not something that should be a focus, but it matters, and it gives back to us as the people that are creating and listening in to what's required of us, and to know that you're drawing from this as well to create your own. It would be much appreciated. So I'm saying this to say that it's great to be acknowledged, and because one is embodying a voice of truth, not by volume, not by projection, but a truthful expression, and that you are receiving it on the other end. There's resonance because of how you're creating. So I've watched the work of others and how the series has also given life to other work outside of myself. And another big surprise was my relationship with perfectionism. This has significantly shifted for a while now, because it's something that I'm working through therapy stuff, and I am less concerned with perfect, and I'm more focused on the principles around excellence. So what I've done to work through this one is I have quality control checklists. I'll call it standard operating procedures. So to make sure that things that I care about and how I produce and create are seen to and done, right? And this has pushed me so much to editing myself out and leaving things and letting go of things that don't matter, as long as the quality control checklist is seen to. So the perfectionism things can happen in cycles of never endingness, because you are working through a wounding of nothing is ever good enough, and therefore you're constantly needing to second guess and check things that are never ending. So with the excellence route that I employed, quality control checklists have helped me so much here to get things done within a certain parameter of quality, because things matter to me at least to go through a certain checklist. And once all of that is seen to, then there's no need for me to sit with this thing perfecting and redoing and relooking, because we do that because of the work one still needs to get through inner work around not good enough. And I guess that's why we have so much things that are sitting in our drafts and things that are sitting in our to-do that we never get to finish, because the not good enoughness bug and noise is sitting in our voice. So how I'm working through that is working through the principles of excellence, and that's just been so much of a gift for me. And what's deepening in turn for me is the level of self-compassion that I have for myself. I'm much kinder and more patient with myself in my unfolding. And also my meditation practice has, I don't know, I keep on thinking around how underutilized and misunderstood meditation is. And when it's used with intentionality, how much meditate the practice can guide one's inner campus. And my voice as well has grown. It's deepened, maybe in volume, tone, and depth and projection. I can feel and notice my emotional canvas that shows up in my throat when work gets heavy. Because this awareness makes it easy to articulate and hold space and to navigate difficult moments. And my voice is growing here to say that it is okay to move through that wave of the up and the down and the difficult. What's important is to have the voice get the words out. That's all that matters here, right? And another thing that's deepened is my connection with my breath. I can read my own inner landscape better now through my breath. And somehow this is gifting me with the language for my own emotions, my body, my presence in my body. My mind is much richer, because I'm more self-aware and I can hold others accountable for their own growth without taking on too much of their stuff, because my inner connection and my breath connection is saying, in your body, you're carrying others more than you should. In your emotions, you're carrying so much more than you should, and you should push out what is not yours. And this has been so powerful for me to pick up, because my breath is deepening, and so is my connection to my body signals. And that's a different video altogether. And there's less over planning, so I'm much more minimalistic now, and I'm also now more open to others' perspectives. So through my checklist and the SOPs that I've put in place, one of the things that I do is ask for one or two people to give me feedback about anything that they're picking up in terms of the meditation before they go out. So that openness to receiving feedback of whatever type or whatever direction, I'm more open to it now and before, because of my relationship with uncertainty and the self-criticism. I think I would even control how feedback comes to me, and now I am open to it all, right? Because I'm open to learning and letting go and unlearning, right? And I think this video is going to be too long. So the next video, I'm going to talk about learnings across about the platforms that I used to share the meditations on. Also in that video, I'll speak to my Sunday mornings with the 938 radio. So I'll just share my takeouts there, and also the contextual considerations when it comes to the Gen Z generation, in terms of how one can package meditations for them, because they're a different community, literally. So that's also one of the things that stood out and came up for me. So I think I'll share these in a separate video. So for now, let's just end it here, with what's deepened within me. And yeah, I think for now let's leave it here, because presence also matters, and I can feel my energy is now declining, because I want to make sure that you get the essence of this, the intention of this video. So I'm going to pause it here, and let's move to the second video.